You know what's really funny about this rain is when I got up to the shop here earlier this evening and turned on the radio, the weather forecast was on and it said there's no chance of rain in the 10-day outlook. Just has a bend in it right here. The good news is I have another piece of pipe. I picked up this pipe a few months ago because I was going to use it to make a wet pressurized pot for my sandblaster. Ever since I saw Doug Jackson's over on SV Seeker, I realized that's what I need to do to my sandblaster. Especially since I do wet sandblasting anyway, or slurry blasting. So yeah, that was going to be my pressurized tank for my sand. The garden hose water was going to go in there and swirl and shoot out the bottom and go to my blaster. It's 1 inch smaller in diameter, but with a lot of careful measuring, it seems to be truly round. Oh, and I'm going to cut out 2 more discs. I'm not going to take an inch off of these. That'll be a 1/2 inch each side, however you want to word that. Well, YouTube, I'm going to have to pick the tripod up because you can't quite see in there, but got 2 more cut out to fit in this pipe. This pipe is round, and these fit very nicely in there. Got a nice edge on them. So, very happy with that. So, I'm actually going to call it quits already this evening. Had some guests stop by the farm and chat for a while, so hung out with them, didn't get a whole lot of work done, but that's okay. I had an old wheel spindle off of a disc. Actually, I think it's off this disc that I tore apart for this project, if I remember right. And I cut out a plate so that fits on the spindle and will hold the pipe. And I set the pipe up on there because I'm going to assume that this collar is pretty darn straight. And then I've got my plasma cutter rigged up here. So I'm going to try spinning the pipe by hand, the plasma cutter up there, and see if I can't get a nice straight cut. The wall of this pipe is actually over 3/8. Worked very slick, YouTube. I'm very happy with that. So now I'm gonna go mow the lawn. This is the adapter for my circle cutter and the bolt. I was getting ready to bolt the disc into this side of the pipe, and I realized if I did it the same way, I wouldn't get my adapter back out of there. So I put 3 of these ring magnets on. I get these really cheap from the surplus center. I like them a lot. They're really good for welding, you know. And 3 of them are the same size of these magnets. So I'm hoping that I won't pinch my fingers. And I can stack this up in here. Uh-oh. Now those magnets are going to pull on that, aren't they? There we go. So I'm hoping that is close enough. Alright, I'm going to use a MIG welder on this side instead of the stick because welding in that corner kind of gave me fits. And it's a long ways around there actually. So we'll try it. I used the stick first time because these discs are pretty high carbon steel. When I was grinding them to clean them up, the sparks are seriously only about 1.5 inches, 2 inches long. So they got a lot of carbon in them. It's having some grounding issues running the MIG welder, and I don't know if it's that magnet or the fact that I just put the ground clamp on the quick connect like that. But I'd move things around and then it would take off and weld for a while and then it would stop again. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but it kind of got frustrating, made my welds look like junk. But after I got the, especially this one over here, can you see it go, and then I tried to do a weave and then it cut out on me and start again, and like right there, I didn't do very good at getting back in it, but terrible. Yowzers. Ha! That'll set off your tinnitus. Woo! There we go. Woohoo! I really shouldn't have used these discs to make these end caps. I had forgotten just how high a carbon these things are. But when I used just my 70 rod to go around here, it immediately shrunk and cracked all the way around. Completely pulled through, all the way through the disc. So I went back and kind of patched it up with some stainless rod. Seems to be holding so far. It's warmish to the touch, but it ain't hot anymore, so I think I'll be alright. Anyway, I have the roller all welded up finally. Now I'm going to make some bushings to fill in this gap between here and the bearing. I actually have some DOM that is the correct dimensions. It's almost 1.5 inches inside and 2 1/4 outside. about perfect. I'm not taking the time to change over to my rosebud. We'll see if that bites me in the butt too. That sucker will be on there good when it shrinks. Alright, well, I'm going to do the other side. Stare right in the window there, I guess. Pretty happy with it. It rolls. The left side has a bit more than 1/8 of an inch of wobble in it. Total run out, you know. The right side, I can't even detect any without going and getting the indicator. It looks like it's running true. So, a little off. I doubt that'll bother anything. I took the plasma cutter and cut a couple holes in, make sure water and stuff could drain back out. Yeah, I'm not happy with these welds, and matter of fact, my lady came up earlier and she was looking at that and she goes, "Did you make those welds?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "I think those are the ugliest welds I've ever seen from you. I can't believe you did that." So yeah, they're pretty bad, aren't they? Anyway. Alright, I am going to go take a break. I'll be back a little bit. We'll start figuring out the frame.
You should do this YouTube channel where I'm riding a horse and you're riding the three-wheeler and see if you can manage that, or if you can find a spot where the camera can stay and you can watch me ride out on the pastures and stuff like that when I'm old enough to have a horse.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a great idea.
What would you call that?
Horsing around?
That would be so funny. Yeah. You would. Yeah, okay.